Ecofictologists, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lovis and today I want to talk about something very exciting that happened to me last year. I want to talk about the Extinction Rebellion Wordsmiths Solarpunk Storytelling Showcase short story writing competition that I was a judge for. You've probably heard of Extinction Rebellion, the global environmental movement who use non-violent civil disobedience to push governments to take action. And they focus on topics like climate change, biodiversity loss, and the risk of social and ecological collapse. XR Wordsmiths are a part of Extinction Rebellion and are a band or a collective of writers who are deeply concerned with the climate and ecological emergency facing us all. Their writing is one way they battle against this emergency. They hope it spurs curiosity, concern, inspiration, reflection, love, rage, and also action. You'll find all kinds of writing there on their website and a diversity of voices and styles to remind us of the diversity of humankind and our beautiful living earth. Their Solarpunk storytelling showcase is all about using our collective imagination as a tool against the climate and ecological emergency. Imagination unlocks the impossible and releases it into the realm of possible. Through radical reimaginings of the world, we can get closer to creating a future which is positive and healthy for all life. There's more detail on that website about the brief for the competition, but it was about imagining better futures. It was imagining technological advancements or social movement advancements that would help us get to a better place. And the brief ends with, if we can imagine it, we can work towards it. And that is the whole point of the Solarpunk movement. If we can't even imagine a better future, how are we supposed to get there? And that's what this genre and this movement is all about. And if you go back to some of my earliest videos on all the hashtags and subgenres and types of ecofiction, you'll find lots more information about Solarpunk. But in a nutshell, it is imagining a life, a future, where technology, nature, and humanity live in some kind of balance. And there's a focus on social justice and equality as the pillars of what will get society to that place. I'm seeing more and more short story competitions and anthologies revolving around this genre, and it makes me so happy because these stories are inherently positive and they're driven by hope, and that's something that I think we need so much more of, and whenever I read it, it does lift the spirit. I thoroughly enjoyed reading some Solarpunk short story anthologies last year, and I will link those videos up here somewhere. I can never remember which side it is, but it'll be up here. And I really wanted to do an episode talking about my experience being a judge for this competition. One, because it was very flattering to even be asked. You know, it's one of those rare times when validation kind of comes to you and you didn't ask for it or look for it. And it was so flattering, and I was so humbled and privileged to be part of this project. And the other reason I wanted to talk about it is that it actually had quite an effect on me. It was so uplifting to read all of these stories about hopeful futures. You know, they're not stories you see all the time. We're surrounded and bombarded all the time by these kind of gloomy stories about the state of the world and tipping points and points of no return, and it's so hard to keep hope alive. But reading all of these stories really helped me do that. There were 3 age categories for this competition. There was middle grade, and then there was teen, and then there was adult. And I will be interviewing the winners of the teenage age category in the next couple weeks, so you will get to hear all about it. Keep your eyes peeled on this channel. And I have to say, reading my way through the middle grade stories, I had the biggest smile on my face the whole time. Because naturally, when you ask a kid what they think the future is gonna look like, you get like a dream-like story. You get a glimpse of what they dream about for the future. And it is so God, it's so heartwarming and innocent and lovely, but I was also so pleasantly surprised and impressed, to be honest, about the level of knowledge that these kids have about climate change. These stories were full of facts and knowledge and understanding of what really is a complex thing, that I was flabbergasted. I was so surprised. I shouldn't have been, really, but I was. And it is kind of sad that kids these days are so aware of this, it's big sad stuff that you wish kids didn't have to think about, but this is the world that we live in, and it actually is so heartening to know that in their generation there will be fewer people who don't believe in climate change or who just refuse to see it. If it's so prevalent that an 8-year-old can write a story about how to fix it, then I think there is hope for us yet. But the biggest thing I really wanted to talk about is that up until this point, I didn't really think that I would ever write middle grade ecofiction. I thought it wasn't really in my wheelhouse, in my skill set, which is such a cop-out, really, because you can always learn to do something. You can always learn something new, a new skill. But I thought, I'm happy in my little YA safe zone. I might write adult, I could see it happening, but I didn't think I would write middle grade. But then reading the stories that these kids were writing, it made me want to write for them. It made me want to engage with them about these topics. So many author tubers that I watch who write middle grade, they say they write the books that they wish had been available for them to read when they were that age. And clearly these kids are searching for hope, and clearly they think that stories have power if they're writing them. So I want to give them those hopeful and powerful stories that they can engage with about these topics. Storytelling is such a huge part of being a kid, and climate change and biodiversity loss, all of these things are such a huge part of our lives now. It's just a fact. So it totally makes sense that these two things would overlap and that kids would want to engage with them. But maybe they don't have the language to. And what else are books for? What else are stories for than to give people the language to talk about difficult topics? What else are they for? So I have been adding middle grade ecofiction to my TBR list. I hadn't really been adding them before, and I don't know why. Maybe some kind of unconscious bias that I need to examine. Did I think they were too simplified? Did I think they wouldn't resonate as much with me? I don't know, but I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna give them the try that they deserve. So I'm gonna read those, and if you have any recommendations, please leave them down in the comments below, because I am on the middle grade train. Of course, I'm now writing in all age categories, another shiny new idea thing, trying not to get too distracted, one thing after, one thing at a time, but eventually I think I will write middle grade. And I think I could have fun with it, because these stories, they're going to be more hopeful, they're going to be more positive, they're going to have maybe a bit more whimsy in them. You're writing for kids, and doesn't that just sound like something I would enjoy? So that was kind of a gushy video without too much of a big point, but I thought it was an important topic to talk about, and I cannot wait for these stories to be published on the XR Wordsmiths website, and once they are, I will be shouting them from the rooftops. I cannot wait to hear what you think about them and whether you found them as uplifting as I did. And of course, stay tuned in the next couple weeks, over the next month or so, as I interview the winners of the teenage category about their stories and about climate change and the power they think stories have, and maybe what kind of stories they are seeing that are written for them, what they would like to see. Who knows? Anyway, stay tuned for that. I am riding the wave of positive inspiration from this writing competition. I'm so grateful that I could be a part of it, and I will keep you posted. If you would like to engage with more of a community about ecofiction, then join us on our Rewilding Our Stories Discord server. The invite link is below. We have lovers of ecofiction from all different angles. It's wonderful, and we're about to start a new book for our book club, so come and join us. And I will see you next week, ecofictologists.